We haven't really taken a moment to process how massive the ending fallout is before jumping straight into what Season 3 is teasing. And trust me, the setup is louder than it looks. Welcome back to Series Critique. I'm Zuri Hayden, and today we're breaking down why Landman Season 3 feels less like a continuation and more like a reckoning waiting to detonate. Season 2 ended on something that looked like a win. Tommy stepping into his own operation felt empowering. It felt earned. But if you really sit with that finale, it wasn't stability. It was a fragile new beginning disguised as victory. And everything we're hearing about Season 3 suggests that fragile foundation is about to be stress-tested from every direction. The biggest takeaway? The new company isn't a symbol of freedom. It's a pressure cooker. Every handshake carries risk. Every partnership feels temporary. The shadow of powerful investors hasn't disappeared. It's just shifted angles. And the tone being teased suggests we're not watching ambition anymore. We're watching survival. That's a huge shift. Instead of chasing growth, Tommy may be fighting to keep everything from collapsing under its own weight. Early trailer chatter points to silence, long stares, unfinished conversations. In this world, that doesn't signal calm. It signals distrust. And if Landman has proven anything, it's that loyalty expires the second leverage changes hands. What makes Season 3 especially tense is the pacing insiders are hinting at. This isn't a slow simmer. This is escalation. Problems won't build gradually. They'll overlap. Explode. Multiply. Tommy's leadership won't be tested by obvious enemies first, but by the strain of protecting his people while navigating deals that feel rigged from the start. And that emotional core? That's where this gets personal. We're not just watching business conflict. We're watching a man trying to hold together family, reputation, and a future that could vanish with one bad call. The trailer energy feels less like a promise of triumph and more like a warning. The environment Tommy is stepping into doesn't reward hesitation. Every move carries weight. Every pause invites consequence. Even behind the scenes, momentum feels urgent. Production acceleration and confident creative direction suggest the storytellers aren't easing up, they're leaning in. The involvement of Paramount Plus signals high-stakes storytelling that doesn't flinch. Tighter pacing. Sharper consequences. Fewer safety nets. And let's talk about performance. With Billy Bob Thornton at the center, Season 3 looks ready to dive deep into moral gray territory. His portrayal of Tommy has always thrived in restraint, in those quiet moments where decisions form behind his eyes before they're spoken aloud. If trailer reports are accurate, we're getting more of that. Longer looks. Controlled reactions. Silence that says more than dialogue ever could. That's not just tension. That's immersion. Season 3 also appears ready to explore perception versus reality. From the outside, Tommy's operation may look unstoppable. Confident leadership. Forward momentum. Solid deals. But internally? Cracks may already be widening. Success paints a target. Growth invites retaliation. And the deeper implication is that Tommy might be walking into a trap he helped build himself. And he knows it. The higher he climbs, the thinner the air gets. Confidence alone won't carry him now. Strategy, sacrifice, timing. All three have to align perfectly. And the suspense comes from watching how long he can balance them before something slips. What's especially gripping is how leadership becomes emotional liability. Tommy isn't just reacting anymore. He's responsible. Every outcome touches someone tied to him. And when protecting the business collides with protecting the people he cares about, that's where the real fracture begins. Season 3 seems ready to ask, what happens when ambition and loyalty stop aligning? There's also a strong implication that threats won't arrive loudly. They'll creep in through contracts, through negotiations, through familiar faces whose loyalty suddenly feels conditional. Meetings become battlegrounds. Conversations double as warnings. Suspense builds not from explosions, but from inevitability. And here's what really pushes this into dangerous territory. Momentum itself may become Tommy's greatest enemy. Everything is accelerating. Deals close faster. Reactions happen quicker. Consequences arrive sooner. And when a world defined by pressure starts speeding up, instinct replaces certainty. Instinct is powerful. But at this level, it's also volatile. One decision won't create one problem. It'll create 5. He protects one relationship. Another weakens. He secures one victory. Retaliation circles immediately. Stability becomes temporary. Paranoia creeps in. Allies begin to look at each other differently when pressure tightens. That's not just business drama. That's psychological warfare. And the deeper Season 3 goes, the clearer it becomes that this isn't about winning. It's about cost. Trailer buzz suggests this is where consequences circle back with real weight. Every calculated risk. Every shortcut. Every moment of hesitation. They've been stacking quietly. Season 3 feels like the collision point. The pacing reportedly tightens as the narrative advances, creating a sense that time itself is working against Tommy. Problems overlap. Solutions feel temporary. And the more he pushes into survival mode, the more he risks becoming someone he once swore he wouldn't be. That's the true suspense. Not whether he can maintain power, but who he becomes while trying. Because at some point, survival decisions stop feeling like compromises. They start feeling like identity shifts. And once that line is crossed, there's no easy way back. Relationships will likely reach their most fragile state yet. Loyalty tested repeatedly. Trust becoming conditional. Words carrying double meanings. Alliances that once felt unbreakable may begin to look transactional. When certainty disappears, isolation becomes its own threat. And that's what makes the anticipation around Season 3 almost unbearable. You can feel a collision coming. You just don't know which relationship, which deal, or which decision will trigger it. If Season 2 was transformation, Season 3 looks like reckoning. Not a sudden explosion, but relentless escalation. Pressure rising steadily. Stability revealed as illusion. Survival depending on who adapts fastest when the walls start closing in. And when the dust settles, the real question won't be whether Tommy won. It'll be what it cost him. Alright, series critique family. I want to hear from you. Do you think Tommy can hold the circle together under this kind of pressure? Or is Season 3 setting him up for a fall he won't see coming? Drop your predictions in the comments. Let's break this down together. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an analysis. This is Series Critique. I'm Zuri Hayden, and we don't just watch the story. We examine the fallout.